everyone, and welcome into another recap video of the Crossroads League women's side of things. And thanks so much for tuning in. And we'll start off with recapping the games from last night on the women's side. Mount Vernon Nazarene victorious over the Trojans of Taylor, 80-78. Really good shooting performances for the Trojans. Of course, Emma Full played really well as Ava Henson, Quinn Kelly, and Whitney Warfel. The Trojans shot 39% from the field, just 35 of 3. We're really good at the free throw line at 83%. And for Mount Vernon shot way better from the field at just 54%, 23% from 3. So obviously a big difference there, and just 66 at the free throw line. And Megan Weekly from Sunbury went to Big Walnut High School. That's a big high school name in down around the Westerville area, and she was a perfect 3 of 3 in just 11 minutes of action. 2 of 2 from beyond the arc helped spark Mount Vernon's 9-0 run to defeat the Trojans, and the 9-0 run was just done within a minute and 42 seconds. So really impressive performance there. So Mount Vernon getting a big win there. And we now go to the next matchup, which takes us to Fort Wayne, where the Cougars of St. Francis hosted the Maple Leafs of Goshen, and it was all USF from the start. 71-36, the Cougars victorious there, and they held Goshen to 10 points or less all 4 quarters. So really impressive in terms of defense for the Cougars of St. Francis. Goshen, though, shot horrible. 26% from the field, 21 from 3, just 54 at the line. And obviously, I don't mean horrible in a bad way, but, every team has a bad game, and Goshen did have a bad shooting game, and that happens to even the best of teams, even in the NCAA. We see that happen in that division as well. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, 53% shooting from the field, 60% from 3, and St. Francis was better at the free throw line at 69%. Led by Isabella Gizzi, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Callie Gregory, Convoy, Ohio native, 6 of 8 shooting, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, 5 rebounds. And Chloe McKnight, 2 of 6 shooting, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals as well. So really good to see that. And Allie Madden, 2 of 5 shooting, 3 of 3 at the line in just 14 minutes of action. So good to see Madden get some good playing time there. And the next matchup, the Knights of Marion traveled to Spring Arbor up in Michigan to take on the Cougars. And Marion handed Spring Arbor their first home loss of the season. 75-47 win for the Knights, led by 25 points from junior center Abby McNally, 10 of 15, shooting 5 of 5 at the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a really impressive defensive performance that she had, 5 blocks. Her sister Callie McNally, 5 of 7 shooting, and Taylor Double, 4 of 9 shooting, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals though. And Marion shot 52% from the field, 26 from 3, 68 at the line. And for the Cougars of with the Cougars of Spring Arbor, they shot 27% from the field, 25 from 3. They were slightly better at the free throw line though, at 76%. And Alana Nelson had she did have a good game defensively. 6 rebounds though, 1 steal. Struggled shooting, but it was a perfect 4 of 4 at the free throw line, so you love to see that. And Megan Zeitz, 3 of 12 shooting, so she struggled from the field, but had 8 rebounds as well. Nelson with 6 rebounds, and Emma Smyska, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals in that matchup. And then the next matchup takes us to Winona Lake, where number 2 Indiana Wesleyan traveled to take on the Lancers of Grace. And for Indiana Wesleyan, and the latest top 25 poll, Indiana Wesleyan ranked number 2, St. Francis ranked number 14, and the Knights of Marion ranked number 15. And for Indiana Wesleyan, they really struggled shooting early on in this game. They were just 3 of 14 from the field in the first quarter, and 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. And they were only down 4 to the Lancers after the first quarter, but the second quarter, the Wildcats outscored the Lancers 12-5, And Indiana Wesleyan at halftime only had 22 points, which was an all-time season low in terms of the first half. But the Wildcats were able to improve their shooting drastically in the third quarter, outscoring the Lancers 20-13 and also outscoring them 17-11 in the fourth quarter at that one. And I was at that game last night and really enjoyed it. Grace has a fantastic athletic facility, and it was our very first time there, so that made it even better. And I had heard many positive things about Grace, heard that their athletic facilities ranked number one for best facility in the whole entire state of Indiana. So obviously, that's really exciting. So really thankful that I was able to go to that game last night with my mom and brother. Really enjoyed it. And Indiana Wesleyan 21-0 now on the season, 11-0 in conference. Last night for the Wildcats, they had some really good players that played some really key minutes and played well as well. And one of those players being Jade Nutley, the senior from Madison, Indiana, 4 of 5 shooting with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a really impressive 4 blocks. And Izzy Reed went scoreless, but she did have 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. And Taylor Folkema, the redshirt junior from Spring Arbor, Michigan, 6 of 13 shooting, 5 of 5 at the line with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Bria Garber, 2 of 4 shooting with 3 rebounds and 2 blocks off the bench. Maddie Lawrence, 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc. She did have a big triple at just the right time with 3 rebounds and 1 block. And Emily Mattingly, in 18 minutes of action, was 1 of 3 shooting, but did have 2 rebounds and 1 assist. And the big player that stood out in this game was freshman Ellie Kelleher from Carmel, Indiana. And Carmel, Indiana is a northern suburb of Indianapolis. And Ellie played really well. Her first collegiate start, replacing the injured Lily Frazier, who suffered a wrist injury in the home game against Huntington this past Saturday. And obviously we wish Lily the best, and obviously, we're praying that God heals her very quickly. Of course we know that the Lord is capable of healing her very quickly, because I'm a firm believer in miracles. So obviously, I know that He can perform a miracle in her life as well, and anybody's life as far as that goes. But it was still good to see Lily and her family last night at the game, and she was with her team every step of the way. And unfortunately, she's not able to play until the opening round of the Crossroads League tournament Wednesday, February 26th. So losing her the rest of the regular season, that definitely hurts a little bit. But obviously the Wildcats, they just got to keep playing like they have played all season long, and they'll be okay. So we hope Frazier will be back fully healthy by the end of February. And looking at some stats for the Wildcats, 43% shooting from the field, 21 from 3, but the free throw shooting was way better yesterday for the Wildcats. Of course, they've struggled this year at the free throw line, only averaging 72.9% going into the game last night. They shot 86% last night, so obviously those numbers are gonna improve. Meanwhile, for the Lancers shot just 33% from the field. We're better from 3 at 35%, but worse at the free throw line at 60%. And the big key in this game was turnovers. The Wildcats forced 22 turnovers for the Lancers, and the Indiana Wesleyan did commit 14 turnovers for them. But the big difference, though, the 22 turnovers for Grace and scoring those points off turnovers, something that the Wildcats have done really well the past several years. So looking at some quick stats for Grace, and of course for them, head coach Dan Davis, they've been shorthanded this year. They were only playing with 7 active players, and they played their hearts out against a really premier school. So obviously, I congratulate Grace for their effort. Maddie Pointer, 1 of 4 shooting, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. So great to see a freshman step up. Senior Kenzie Ryman, sister of Grace WBB great Maddie Ryman. Kenzie, 4 of 17 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, but had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. And Becca Marshall, 2 of 7 shooting, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal. And obviously other players, Morgan Hauk, 2 of 4 shooting, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Sophia Morrison, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 assist, 1 rebound. And Peyton Murphy, 4 of 6 shooting, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists for that one. And then our last game takes us to Mishawaka, where the Pilots of Bethel hosted the Foresters of Huntington. And this game was a seesaw battle and went back and forth. Huntington looked really, really good after the first quarter, outscored Bethel 17-12, and then after that it was all Bethel pretty much the rest of the way. And so looking at the team stats for Huntington, led by sophomore forward from Loveland, Ohio, Liv Raby, 7 of 8 shooting, 5 rebounds, 8 of 12 at the line. Senior Gabby Melby, 4 of 11 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 3 of 6 at the line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Annika Nelson went scoreless shooting, but she was a perfect 2 of 2 at the line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Bailey Kellum, the sharpshooter from Garrett, Indiana, 2 of 9 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3, so really uncharacteristic for her, but she did have 6 rebounds and 4 steals. And Kendall Yoakum back in the starting lineup for head coach Darby Maggard, and for Yoakum, she sat out the last game against Indiana Wesleyan, was unable to play, so it really, really good to see her back in action last night. 2 of 5 shooting for her, 1 of 3 from 3, hit 1 free throw, 1 of 1 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals. For her, Huntington, 40% shooting from the field, 16% from 3, and just 68 at the free throw line. Meanwhile, for the Pilots, Mariah Claywell, 18 points on the night, 4 steals, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. 3 straight games now that Claywell has scored 15 or more points. Gracie Lambs, really, really good as well, even though she was just 3 of 4 at the line, 0 of 7 shooting, but 2 steals, 1 block, 2 assists. And freshman Olivia Nickerson, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, a perfect 8 of 8 at the free throw line, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Jasmine Smith, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. 40% from the field for Bethel, 25 from 3, and 61 at the line. And those are all of your matchups from recapping last night. And looking at the standings, Indiana Wesleyan 11-0 in conference, 21-0 overall. St. Francis and Marion tied for that number 2 seed. St. Francis, though, holding that head-to-head tiebreaker over the Knights. They're both 9-2 in conference. Spring Arbor solely the 4 seed at 7-4 in conference. Mount Vernon solely the 5 seed at 5-6. Bethel and Huntington tied for 6th and 7th at 4-7 in conference play. Bethel, though, now holding that tiebreaker since they split the regular season. Bethel holding the tiebreaker for more league conference wins on the road. Huntington, the 7 seed, 4-7, and then the Maple Leafs of Goshen in 8th place at 3-8. Grace 1 game out of the playoffs at 2-9, and Taylor 2 games out of the playoffs at 1-10. So obviously a long ways to go yet, and obviously that once we get a little bit closer to the end of the regular season, I will be able to recap, or I'll be able to break down in more specific detail, and not just during game recaps once we get a little bit closer to the end of the regular season, but also breaking down the playoff seeding, where the teams sit, exactly what are the scenarios for whichever team to get to whatever seeding position. All of that I'll break down in separate videos toward the end of the regular season to break it down for you, talk more about it. And obviously, there's a long ways to go yet, but 7 more games left in the regular season. It's going to get better and better, and definitely looking forward to it. I'll be recording the men's video coming up momentarily, recapping all of those games from last night. We had some big matchups, a lot of exciting things to talk about, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching.